can always do
take
more.
a little more, but you could.
It can be uncomfortable if you take too much, or at least that's how I feel.
And overwhelming, absolutely.
If you have a certain illness too and you don't know what'll work for what you have, you can always call down to the dispensary, right? You guys
North
Absolutely.
Boulder Wellness in Boulder.
Call us and we can direct you towards the right candy, edible, lotion, smoke, whatever you need to do to cure your pain.
One of the other things we're working on, which is Camille's part, is a new email.
Yeah, we have a new email set up for this show. So it's going to be a question, or it is already set up. It's questions@northboulderwellness.com.
And that's the word questions.
So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email. And I would be more than happy to answer your questions or direct that email to the best person to answer it.
We could always look it up and come back at you next week and answer some of your questions that way.
Yeah, we can pull up the computer and answer the questions on
so we're
live.
We're new at this. You know, we're
trying to give information to people.
Try to give information.
So send us your questions and let us know what more you'd like to learn about and have us talk about.
So there are lots of other people in this industry, anywhere from doctors to lawyers to people who prepare edible foods, that do tinctures, that do extractions, and you know, this might be a good forum for us to approach some of these fellow people in the same industry and see if they have interest in being able to help educate the public as to how some of these products can best help them, the consumers. You know, for example, the people who fabricate this product, you know, if they were, you know, it's talking to them and seeing how they could make a good fit, just like a lawyer to a doctor, and just educate people and give them as much information as possible so that they're able to make a choice for themselves, whether it's something they want to do or they don't want to do, and have a question and answer through an email and say, you know, this is my ailment, and you know, this is what troubles me, and I'm not sure. Another thing we haven't even talked about is juicing. A lot of people, you know, when these plants get older and bigger, when they get in the flowering stage, and we'll at some point possibly bring one of those plants, they take these leaves, and you can Google.
His name is Dr. Courtney. He's the one who did a big study on this, and it's actually his wife who had like over 12 ailments.
And what they do is they take these leaves and they juice them. They'll mix beets, and you know, most people around here like organic products.
And it won't get you high.
It won't get you high, but what it does, it'll take the edge off and help you to be able to manage your pain.
All of her illnesses were cured by juicing leaves every morning.
They also said that she wouldn't be able to have a child, and she ended up marrying the doctor, and they had a child. And what they do is they take this and they'll mix it with carrots and beets or bananas or whatever. Could be ice cream, could be just ice, could be orange juice, and you mix these leaves in it.
Or you can just juice it kind of like a wheatgrass shot.
There you go, and you just every morning she takes one of those, or maybe twice a day, I'm not exactly sure. But you can Google that. And
there's no high that comes with it. So I just feel like marijuana has been a drug that's been illegal for so long that even though it's medical now and people use it, a lot of people still think of it as, you know, this drug, like this bad drug. And
the Cheech and Chong days, all they did is smoke.
Oh, we're just stoners, and you know.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, like there are people that I think are starting to come around, but it's still kind of in the back of their head. And I mean, I personally don't like getting high, so I just would like to educate everyone about how you can help your pain just feel better, and you don't even have to get high if you don't want to, or, you know, you don't have to
The choice is yours.
Yeah, smoking out of a bong
Like just after last week's show, my wife's parents came to me and said, you know, I didn't know there was actually that much involved. You know, here they are, the old, you know, 70s, you know, and they think just like it was on Cheech and Chong stuff, but he's like, I really learned a lot on that. I didn't know, and he actually asked me for some inflammatory stuff. So then we're showing people what's more involved in it, and 6 out of 10 people are probably more down on it than are up on it. So we'll see if we can turn all that around.
And if anyone has questions on how to get their medical marijuana card, feel free to send us an email, or I believe they'll show our phone number at the end of this the show.
You can give it anyway.
Or our phone number is 720-328-0118. Again, the email is questions with an S at northboulderwellness.com.
And what was that phone number again?
720-328-0118.
And what town are we in?
We're in Boulder.
Is that Colorado?
And yeah, I'd be more than happy to give you instructions on how to get your red card. They've lowered the costs a lot. You might even be able to go to your, just family primary physician, and they could fill out the paperwork for you, so it's covered by your insurance. If not, there are medical marijuana doctors out there. Also, something nice that the state does is, well, they have a $35 fee when you get your card, but if you're on Social Security, if you're on disability, things like that, they can waive the fee, and yeah, I don't know, they just try and work with you. So
I think one of the important things we're talking about some of these products also is that when Jeremiah talks about, that his mother-in-law and all that, about trying the cream, it's important for people to understand that they really need to have their red cards, and because we can't just give these products or buy the products, because that's against the law. So when somebody shows that they have some interest, they contact Camille. Camille tells them where to go. For the cost, it's well worth it to go see the doctor that we recommend to go to, Dr. Cohen, and then which is another gentleman that we'd like to invite on as a guest who can give you tons of information about the benefits of all this. He's an amazing gentleman, and it's really, really important that for people to understand, you can't just say, go buy me this and let me have them, because we can't do that. You have to have a card. It's not legal. And the last thing we want to do is put ourselves in an awkward position, because we spent so much time and so much of effort and money to life investment to get us where we're at today. So, we're willing to help, but there are certain guidelines and things that you as the public have to follow to be able to conform, to be able to have us help you.
So to get your medical marijuana card, it'll cost you $100. It's going to be under $100. That's with the state fee and the doctor's visit.
Won't kill your liver. Won't kill your kidneys. Chances of you beating
your stomach lining.
No one has ever died, ever.
Chances of you
from marijuana.
Chances of you beating your wife in a drunken stupor, instead you'll get the munchies or fall asleep.
You'll attack a bag of Oreos, maybe.
Attack a bag of Oreos and a quart of ice cream.
Yeah. The world would be much better if people just all medicate on this instead of everything else. Yep, over there.
So
and then we also have these tinctures. That's another option out there. So sometimes they'll be in glycerin, or they can be extracted with alcohol. And it's another sort of concentrated form. It's just like a little dropper. You drop it in your tongue. Sometimes they come in sprays, so that's pretty discreet. And we have ones that are high in CBDs. They're more of a medical thing, so they're not usually going to be super high in THC, but there are those out there as well.
Always take less, and you can always take more. I've baked some cookies, and I've baked some cakes at home, making some desserts, and I've made them pretty strong.
I would suggest to ask someone who's done it before, or maybe follow a recipe online, because you can easily put too much in, and
it's not fun.
No.
It cannot be fun sometimes, and for
I
me,
mean, some people probably think it's the time of their lives, but me personally, I don't think it's fun.
I find it uncomfortable also.
Me too.
So you sure this didn't have a year on that? I'm pretty sure, yep, 2013 is what it says.
Oh yeah, so I thought so. Yeah, so the
Isn't that what I said earlier?
No, you
You said 11, she said 12.
And you said 13.
Yep, that's,
Oh, one of
I'm
us
the
can
grower.
read. One of us can read here. Well, we'll be back.
We'll be back. And
What she said.
questions@northboulderwellness.com, again, is the email. Please send us your questions
Boulder,
so we
Colorado.
can answer them next week.